Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And away we go. Welcome to show number 2,874. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! All right, the men's room. On tap today, Ryan Castle's A Drunk in Charge is into Sit and Spin. Today, the top 10 songs banned at weddings. We will review some men's room rules. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, phone with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Tim.
Click, clack, drinking and drunk.
All right, here we go. New Jersey bank robber hands teller a note that this is a robbery, takes back the note, and tries to open an account instead.
That's how you do it.
To England, where man pees out fire on pier before the flames could spread. Ohio, a couple comes home to a rearranged house of the strangest kind. To San Antonio, where shark robbers steal the aquarium blind. And a Pittsburgh dad works 7 days a week, 3 different jobs, so his 14-year-old daughter can get a dress and go to a dance. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, let's go to the fine state of Ohio, where a woman came home to find that her home had been broken into. So what tipped her off? Well, frankly, her taxidermied animals had all been rearranged to be facing the door when you opened it, including the stuffed raccoon that was now holding a cold beer. True thing. We go to England. A woman there got herself a Chihuahua puppy. She was quite excited about this, but as the Chihuahua got older and starts getting horny, well, things changed. It started humping its doggy bed. No big deal, but at that moment, the woman discovered that her little Chihuahua has a massive, massive penis. Seriously, it's absolutely ridiculous. She didn't know, and now she's kind of disturbed, and she posted some pictures to the internet for everyone to take a gander. Now we go to Texas, where authorities were stunned to watch surveillance footage of the San Antonio Aquarium of 3 people stealing a horned shark out of its tank at the aquarium, putting it in a baby stroller, and then just walking out. They did manage to find the shark a little bit later, but yeah, they just grabbed it out of the tank, put it in a baby carriage, and off you go. Every once in a while, things just seem kind of strange. You almost can't believe your own eyes. Even though you're looking at it, it's just sometimes a little too much to take in. So that's what today's question is. What made you say, I did not expect to see that?
To be a part of the big show, call 844-999. Ola, like the Men's Room on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All the shows, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,874. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat, as the drunk in charge Ryan Castle will be in the Sit and Spin. And today Ryan brings in the top 10 songs that have been banned at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get the DJ and you have certain songs that absolutely have to be played, and I do remember having those conversations in my lifetime about what those songs... wedding playlist is kind of a difficult one to put together based on the fact that it's not my genre of music for the most part.
I mean, that's the problem, man. So, I mean, it's like, look, I don't know. There's all the classic ones, right? We all know those. But, like, look, if it's anything newer, like, dude, I don't know. If it's up to me, you're playing Metallica and Tool. Yeah. And I know that's not going to fly, so, but understand that's where my knowledge base is.
But then you have a lot of older people there, and if someone plays Frank Sinatra or something, you're like, oh, look at the old people getting up. I didn't even
look
know.
at them hurt
That's
their
a
hips.
tough thing. You got to pick songs people will actually dance to.
Sure. And then you have the songs that you do dance to, whether it's the first dance or whatever dance, and this song is supposed to be significant about all that crap. And then, boom, when all that stuff is over, the DJ's going to take over.
That's right.
And it's his time to spin the hits. Now, there might be a lot of requests you have. There might be a lot of songs you absolutely want played. There are apparently, though, a lot of songs that you do not want played. And DJs get these requests ahead of time as well. So they say, hey, look, you can do anything. I don't care. Please, to God, don't play.
Who Let the Dogs Out?
Right. Whatever that song is, Achy Breaky Heart or whatever. Here's the thing. Truth be told, I'm sure all these songs would get people on the dance floor. But they are songs.
But you just don't want to hear it.
Well, certain people are annoyed by certain songs more so than others. So it just depends on the song, depends on the situation, and it depends on, who the bride is or whoever put in the request. So, top 10 songs banned at weddings coming up. Also, we'll review some men's room rules. If you have a potential rule that you would like to see us maybe put into law, just shoot us an email to the men's room at mensroomlive.com. Make the subject men's room rules. If you'd like to take a look at some of the men's room rules that are already in place, you can go to mensroomlive.com. They're all categorized up there, all the rules that you made throughout the years. And our question today, what made you say, I did not expect to see that? Now, normally, when your home gets broken into, depending on how broken window, how the person entered your home, what was stolen, the value of it, you get a pretty good idea how things transpired. You can see some evidence of, you might not realize everything that's been taken right away. Right. But you can definitely see that someone has been in your house, valuables have been taken. Christ, I got to call the cops, whatever the deal is. You know the difference between that and maybe a relative who you think might be stealing from you, like, Juan Montgomery. Either way, this is a little bit different. And we go to Girard, Ohio.
Oh, lovely place.
And we know that Ohio.
I know it, Girard.
Ohio is in Ohio. An Ohio woman, she got a scary surprise in the morning when she opened her front door to find her taxidermic animals staring back at her. That's right.
One of us.
Police said it was part of a strange break-in that they are investigating. Someone broke into the house of that Mindy Marshall is remodeling.
Okay.
They definitely stole a radio because that's very valuable. You want to be able to listen to the show without a radio. And rearranged some of her stuffed animals. I walked in the front door like normal, and the first thing I saw straight ahead was the window propped open with a box, she said. Inside was the stuffed deer head Marshall and her fiancé owned. She realized her house had been broken into, called the police. They stole some money, a jar, and then I believe a stereo system, speaker system maybe. That's not all, however, the officers found. The thief or thieves had rearranged Marshall's other taxidermic animals, even adding their own touch to some of them. A boar's head had been moved, and a beer had been placed in a raccoon's hand.
All right.
That led officers to some answers. The beer, you see, was still cold. So it obviously had been taken out of the refrigerator and placed in the raccoon's hand. It was still cold at the time that it was discovered. So it was probably right around close to when they received the call that the break-in actually happened. Though it may be laughable to some, this is no joke to Mindy Marshall. I could have walked into this by myself if they were still there for that amount of time. That they had time to arrange everything like that, that's scary for me. While it seemed the thief or thieves had time, there were several valuables they did not steal. Marshall said the incident was odd, possibly personal. Immediately in my mind, I thought, this is someone who knows us or who would take the time to do this and not really worry about getting caught. If they are caught, they could face a felony burglary charge. Marshall said that she and her neighbors are working with police to find who's responsible. Some of the neighbors have security cameras. They plan to give any useful footage to police officers.
I like the added touch of the cold beer and the paws of the raccoon.
Yeah. I think if I knew it was cold,
funny.
and you go over there like, I'm cracking that. Well, I guess you can't crack the beer because maybe it has fingerprints on it.
It's evidence.
It's evidence
Yeah, you
now.
probably would take it in as, what a waste of a beer.
That is a waste of it.
That really is. I mean, you want to drink it. Could you drink it with a glove on? Maybe you smudge off the fingerprints or whatever.
I guess you could drink with the glove on,
Maybe
right?
Gently pour it. You know what I mean? But then maybe
Yeah.
then
And
everyone
their
thinks.
house got robbed. I don't know if they're that worried about the one beer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Man, you got cold beer nobody has a cold beer in their fridge.
Right. I'm just picturing
yeah.
Miles, taking a report like, hey, look, I'm not trying to be insensitive. Do you have any more of that beer? It's my favorite brand, man.
I just think it's great that you took the beer and you put it in the raccoon's hand. So what made you say, I did not expect to see that? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Jalen. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Oh, man, this is freaking dope. This is my first time getting a call in.
All right, I'll get the dirty word thing ready to play. We'll get the dumb button on the ready. Go ahead.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So should I just go ahead now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, hold on. And three.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, wait.
Wait, hold on. And 3, and 2, and action.
All righty then. So I was about 12 years old, and as you know, most 12-year-olds don't really understand the concept of life and death. And to continue the story, it was my aunt's wedding out in Maryland. So the weekend before, my family decided, let's go to the Capitol. Let's go to Washington, D.C. It was my first time on the East Coast, first time to the Capitol. I was having a great time. However, they asked, Jalen, what's the first thing you want to do? So we get there. I want to see the huge Lincoln Memorial thingy because I've never seen how big it is. I always thought it'd be pretty dope to see it. Mind you, it's a weekend, so of course there's big crowds of people crossing the street. And I'd say it's about a crowd of 40 to 50 people trying to cross this road to get to the memorial. And light turns red. 3 seconds later, college kid with a Mustang plows through about half the crowd of the people.
Oh!
Yeah.
Welcome to D.C.
Were you weren't in the road, were you?
No, it was right in front of me. Like I saw all the people, all the bodies fly right in front of me.
All right.
How bad was the carnage?
Well, so there was a car that was already stopped at the light, but the kid was still flying. And it's kind of funny. He had like a Florida Gators freaking varsity jacket on, and he had like a mohawk gelled up and everything. But there's a car that was already stopped at the light. And so he was coming, I'd say 40, 50 miles per hour, ran into that car. That car ran into people. He ran into people. And the car's on the other side of the intersection. There's parking on the side. So people were getting out of their cars as well. So I saw people fly. I saw kids fly. I saw some people that were getting out of their cars fly through their own windshields, fly through the sides of their doors, and everything.
What was
that kind of ruin the Lincoln Memorial experience?
Oh, yeah, I haven't been back since.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't happen all the time. I grew up there.
Right, but
Standard DC driver.
I'm sure your folks followed up on what happened. So how bad was it? What was the final tally on it?
Well, there's a bunch of parents, of course, cussing at the kid. The kid, he had a passenger in his car, and they flew through his windshield. And so there was like it was like not even maybe 15, 20 minutes later when the cops came, but there was such a big crowd of people like cursing at him. There's people laying out on the ground, people looking for their families and stuff, like who flew. And so my grandparents, they just took me and all my cousins to the side and just like talked to us.
Let me see here. Oh,
like,
look, cotton candy. Hey, look
at the same time, my sisters and cousins are bawling their eyes out because, like, of course, we've only played video games. We from what we understand is like, okay, when you die, the game restarts. We didn't know that bodies could just go ragdoll like that. So they were traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, wow, that's kind of like Call of Duty, but
just like Call of Duty.
Wow, man, that's not your average trip to D.C.
No, it's not, and that's not normally. I will say this: a big difference on the East Coast and the West Coast about walkway. Just pay attention. Just understand that just because you have a pedestrian light on the East Coast does not mean that you have the right of way.
Essentially, it means nothing.
It does. You do technically have the right of way as far as the law is concerned. As far as your life is concerned,
no,
that's up to you.
Right.
And so, and that's one significant difference. And so, if you travel from the West Coast to the East Coast, you really need to pay attention to that. When you come from the East Coast to the West Coast, you can't believe the cars are stopping and letting you walk in the pedestrian.
It's unbelievable.
You've never seen anything like it. And I'm speaking just from, I guess, Baltimore for the most part. But
but anywhere on the East Coast. I mean, and it's true. Anytime anyone flies I say, look, man, just if you're walking through the city, honest to God, like that comfort zone you have, certain city, it's not like that there. And the cops won't even be on your side. They'll say, oh, why'd you step in the street? You say, I had the right of way. They're like, do you outweigh a car? Because to them, it's about physics.
You're an idiot.
Right. They're like, yeah, that's the law.
This is logic here. Common sense we're coming at you with. What made you say, I didn't expect to see that? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Peter. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Caw-caw. So my story is from when I was a kid. We used to live on in this like old school project building. Excuse me, I was working. Give me a second. Anyways, and we had an elevator with a like little skinny glass, you know. that has got like a little webbing on it. It's just a small glass. Anyway, so I get home from school, and I'm wearing a backpack, and I'm getting in the elevator, and as the doors close, and the elevator slowly starts going up, this flasher dude jumps out on the corner in like an overcoat, and he whips out his berries and twigs and starts dingling them into a little window as I'm going up.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm probably like 7, 8 years old at the time. I still remember that. Like,
Yeah, I don't remember
I
that.
bet you do, especially the trench coat and the whole deal. Did you tell
he
your
had
mother?
like a light brown trench coat. I mean, it was like he was, he was like a professional flasher, I guess. Anyway, so
Yeah, he's been doing it for
yeah.
years. Probably like made pretty good income.
Do you think it was someone that lived in the building, like a neighbor of yours?
No, it was probably just somebody that was,
He makes his living off of,
I don't know. He was a younger guy. He was in like his 20s. Really weird looking.
No pun intended, but he makes his money off of tips.
Yeah.
But so I get out of the elevator and I ran outside, and we got this like little hallway that goes, into the apartments, and I start kicking and banging and pressing all the doorbells and everything, and all my neighbors come outside, and my mom, because she was home at the time, and it was crazy. They never caught him. He just jumped out, did his thing real quick, and then bounced. But
that's because he was a professional. Professional flashers don't get caught.
Yeah, juggle the genitalia
exactly.
and then leave. That's all you do. That's the flasher rule. God damn, man.
Yeah, you can't just stand in the corner and be a flasher like with a hat or something like for tips in front of you.
And he actually did it.
What do you think, eh?
In a trench coat.
Yeah,
To
I
me,
didn't know
that's
that
just the
existed.
move. Right. Seems like most flashers now just open their pants straight up, right?
That's the new school way to do
I
it.
did hear a story once about a guy sitting outside a police station in New Orleans waiting for his buddy to get out.
All right.
And he said a guy drove up next to him in a truck and was like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Waiting for our buddy. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Just going at it."
Oh, geez.
He used a different term, but he's like,
Was he sitting in the truck masturbating, talking to him?
"Yeah." They were like,
See, that's like, dude, just go away,
Look,
man.
I work with a guy. that didn't come in for, I don't know, like a week or two, and then that week or two turned into like a month. Either way, he was like in charge of a lot of the technical aspects of the radio station that I worked at that were very important concerning the towers, the transmitters, things that definitely
The
needed
engineer.
to be, things that needed to be written down and documented at certain times, whether those were the logs and the power of the tower and all, just stuff that you need to continue to operate a radio station to have a license.
Right.
These are the things that needed to be checked. So a month goes by, and somebody's got to do this, so we kind of start trying to figure out what to do, but we can't get a hold of the individual that we need to get a hold of, because the individual, first of all, was incarcerated and then was put into a mental hold facility.
What?
Yeah, it was so and then he got released. And the deal was that he was driving around and he was vigorously masturbating and he was covered in oil.
What?
Okay?
Was he driving around naked?
In D.C.
Yeah.
In D.C.
Covered in oil.
Now, he
This is your engineer.
he apparently, this is like a fetish thing, believe it or not. There's
Gotta be.
It's
It's
not.
got to be.
"There's no reason you would do this."
Yeah.
Because you're, I guess the thing is that people don't know you're looking at them, or they don't know what you're doing, maybe, unless you're in a jacked up truck. I don't know what the deal is. Either way,
Nice choice of
so
words.
they let him out. Yeah, right. So they let him out of the jail first, okay?
All right.
And then he's supposed to come and report to, like in a day or so or whatever, to get a mental evaluation. They busted him again. So
Wait, he was doing it again?
they busted
They let him
again.
out of jail, and he goes right back.
And he went right back, and
Covered in oil.
and he's covered in oil, and he's naked, and he's driving. And I think they busted him in Rockville or something. Instead of taking him back to the jail, they already knew all his stuff. They took him right to the psychiatric hold, and then he came back, and I was
He
like,
came back to work. Now, did you know
came back
this
to work.
before he got back?
No.
Did he tell you?
Yes.
He told
Why would
you
you
this.
tell somebody that?
Because he didn't think it was unusual. That's why.
What kind of oil did he use?
I don't know. I did not ask,
How
but I'm
could you not
assuming
ask?
some type of. I thought
It's
to
gotta be
myself-
baby oil.
and I
It's
thought
gotta
to
be
my-
baby
and I
oil.
thought
That's
to
what I'm
myself, and I know what kind of car he drove, and I'm like, how did you keep the seat from getting all crappy?
Oh, I'm sure he probably had like a towel down or something.
I
man.
guess I don't know, but either way. But so he came back and he's like, "Yeah, well, and there was another aspect of this.
He didn't think that this was abnormal.
There's another aspect of this. He was also on about a 4-day coke bender.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
What does
the
that do
second-
with getting naked and masturbating,
That's
covered in
just-
baby oil, driving through a major city? Like,
That's
they're
just-
not connected, man.
That's-
Because that would be a warning. That everyone like people say, man, if you shoot heroin You might get addicted. It's hard to get off. If you smoke cigarettes, you get addicted. If you smoke weed, you might get paranoid. Oh, and if you do cocaine, you might cover yourself in baby oil, strip naked, and masturbate while driving. I think people would tell you.
If you're on a 4-day bender, like you've been up for 4 days, something weird's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think about this guy a lot. But I know that sounds creepy as weird, but I mean, like, dude, I always wonder, like, what happened to him? Like, where is he? Like,
in a mental facility.
I know, it's like, is he in jail? Is he, where is he? Because if I Google his name, like, I can't find anything, but he did have a radio name. So legally, I don't know his actual last name. So his last name was like, whatever, like Steele or something, which was not his freaking last name, right?
But he wasn't on a 4-day coke bender when they let him out of jail.
No, he was only on a couple-day coke bender at that point in time.
Wait, how long did they hold him in jail? I'm curious.
Apparently, they held him in there for a week or two.
All right, so the coke's out of your system, man.
Oh, no, yeah.
No, but then he got out.
Then he got
coked up again, stayed up, and went out there.
And then they put him...
Did he specifically do this while coked up? Like, was the whole thing get coked up, get naked...
Yes, this is like...
Oh, damn.
Oh, this is his cocktail of fun.
Wow.
Right? I mean, like, if he is going to have a good time, it's going to involve cocaine, baby oil, driving around naked, and masturbating. That's what he wanted to do, man.
My question, look, man, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. It's strange to me, but it's your deal. My big question is, what was the moment that you discovered that this is what you like? Like, what happened that you said, you know what, man? I don't know what it is. I just want to get naked, cover myself in oil, drive around and masturbate.
And honest to God, the boss was the guy who kind of owned the radio station. It was a small radio station. He was also incredibly tight and cheap.
All right.
And he didn't pay this guy who almost said his name. He didn't pay him anything, basically. He paid him very little, but this was a very important thing.
Sure.
Or this radio station would not be on the air. So he, of course, goes and bails this guy out. And paid for all of his crap because it was cheaper for him to get him out and get him back to the workplace to get
than to have to pay someone
because nobody else would work for that crappy
money,
salary.
But you still had to do this job, so it wasn't like he could fire the guy because he didn't want to pay somebody enough money to really have someone who didn't do that there.
So we'll keep coked out naked masturbate oil guy.
I'll bail him out so we can get our forms filled out so it can still be a radio station.
That's that great long-term thinking. I love in business.
Wow, man.
That's how it went down, man. What can I say? And
I'm just do some coke? No.
I know, and I'm just like, man, oh, man. I'm like 23, 24.
You're just like, what the hell?
I'm just like, where did I move to? God damn. What made you say I didn't expect to see that? 844-999-OLA. Hold the line. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Ola bitch Ola. You have entered the men's room.
A Scots puppy has become an online sensation after its owner posted hilarious pictures of its huge, quote, toodle. We go to the Scottish Sun. Buster, a Chihuahua pup from Aberdeenshire, got himself very excited after trying to get intimate with a dog bed. I think we've all seen this movie before. My dog Miles used to have sex with anything that walks. Buster, however, got himself very, very excited. The horny pooch was actually struggling to walk after trying to get intimate with the dog bed. Poor Buster, who was 11 months, basically, with the owner, Renee Thompson, concurring, I had to look twice at this thing. At first glance, I honestly thought it was his leg. According to Tracy Chinnery, OMG, I never knew that this could even happen. After a cold bath eventually returned everything to normal, she uploaded eye-popping pictures with a caption, "Oh my God, I've never been so horrified in my life." She added, our very horny Chihuahua pup Buster got himself in a bit of a pickle with his toodle getting stuck. Out. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, it's went back in, but holy moly, that's a big toodle for a wee tiny puppy. I think it's time for the snip. On social media, Sarah Louise Campbell shared a photograph of her Chihuahua with the caption, "Good God, I won't let him near my baby girl with that weapon of mass destruction."
It's a huge penis.
Audrey Anderson added, "Poor wee man." Terry Lou Adam joked, "Holy long dong." Kimbo Presley added, "I thought this was a shadow of a leg or something."
It is ridiculous.
Bless him, though.
It's crazy.
Bless him, though. Jamie Lee Gray chimes in on Twitter. Holy S, it's almost the size as him. Natalie Hay added, "Jesus Christ." While Carol Odd simply said, "No effing way." He's awful frisky at the moment. I'm not sure if it's an age thing or what, but I think he was humping our Chihuahua's bed. I walked through our living room and screamed in horror when I saw his manhood. My husband was on the phone at the time, and he said, "It's fine, don't worry." I was hysterical and panicking, thinking he'd caused damage to himself, and wondered if I should call a vet. My husband came off the phone and said to put him in the bath of cold water, and it'd go down, and it did, thankfully.
You know how he knows?
I've never seen anything like that in my life. She added, though, as far as the online response, the response was hilarious. Once I saw a buster like this, I actually sent a pic to a friend who's a dog lover because he couldn't even walk properly.
This dog has a massive penis, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it just...
it
she
looks
posted
fake.
the pictures. It does, and you're like, oh, my God.
Everyone was shocked that such a small pup can have such a big manhood.
Roof.
Our question...
I wasn't shocked.
What made you say, I did not expect to see that? 844-999-OLA.
Somebody pointed out, though, as we were looking at the pictures yesterday of this dog, they said, you know what? It seems so much easier now for the crossbreeding with the Chihuahua. Because you're always like, how do they make that work with these bigger breeds? That's the dog you want, man.
Oh, yeah.
You can get him a great day, and he's like, I got it, brother. Don't you worry about it. Hello, Cheyenne. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, as far as what I couldn't believe that I saw, I was house sitting for some family out in the woods not long ago, and I wake up in the morning to the sound of fluttering and some cooing, and I run out to the living room in my underwear, and I see about 3 wild turkeys that had come into the house that I actually had to chase out.
How did they get into the house?
Well, it was a nice night the night before, and I was really tired when I went to sleep, and I must have left the patio door ajar, and then when I come up to the patio, they think they see another turkey in the glass. They peck at it, and then they actually pecked at it hard enough that the door came open a little bit, and they made their way in.
Oh.
And then
All right.
How difficult is it to corral turkeys to get them out? Because they're not the friendliest animal.
It was pretty freaking scary, especially sans pants.
I want to say...
You're always aware that
Man,
the nuggets are not covered. How big were these things? Because they get huge.
They were tom turkeys, so they were pretty decent size.
And, man, they're very intelligent birds.
Yes, they are.
They really are. It was going to be the...
You say they're really intelligent birds?
Yeah, it's going to be the nation's bird.
I'm not sure they're intelligent, man.
Yeah, they're real smart.
Wait, is this the same bird that looks up in a rainstorm and drowns?
Probably could, yeah.
Is it the same bird pecking at its reflection?
You might be thinking about a chicken, but yeah, turkeys are smart. They really are.
Yeah, that's why Franklin was all about him.
Because of the intelligence level.
Really? Is that why? I know that he was all about the turkey.
Yeah, they wanted to make it the national bird, and then someone came in and said, the bald eagle, which I'm glad someone did do that.
Well, Franklin,
fairness.
when they went with the bald eagle, he had a quote, something to the effect of, like, it's an undignified animal and should not represent. But it looks a lot cooler, Ben.
tasty.
Sorry, bro.
Just doesn't look as cool when it's dumpster diving.
You can't eat the nation's bird. What made you say, I didn't expect to see that? 844-999-OLA.
You think that's when they went with the eagle, like, hey, yo, man, look.
The turkey's too tasty.
We've been eating these turkeys. They're freaking delicious. So we're going to go ahead and just pick the eagle.
I'm pretty sure.
Hello, Michelle. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Michelle.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you breathing.
Barely.
Stop. Okay, so you guys were talking about a dog that had an issue?
Well, he had a huge penis.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you consider that an issue.
Well, no. Okay, so I was staying at my mom's house. We were looking for a place and staying at my mom's house. She woke me up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and she was all freaked out. And I asked her what was wrong, and she told me that her dog, Ramsey, she's got these 2 boxers, they're brother and sister. And Ramsey's wiener was stuck out, and she needed me to come up.
Wait,
and help
hold
her.
on. Hold the line, Michelle. Hold the line. I want to hear this.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.